El Paso. On the afternoon of the first Sunday of every month, many congregants of the Blessed Sacrament Catholic Church fill the otherwise empty sanctuary to quietly pray. On this Sunday, the day after a gunman who the authorities said authored a hateful screed opened fire inside a Walmart, killing 21 and wounding more than 24 others, far more people than usual kneeled in the pews, rosary beads laced through their fingers. Some dipped their eyes. Most sought comfort among parishioners. Candles had been lit before the altar, one for every person who had died in the massacre. But they also symbolized the uncertainty that gripped this binational and majority Catholic border community as it awaits final confirmation on who died. As the city moved fitfully through its first day after the shooting, many residents said they condemned the hateful and racist message spewed by the gunman in a manifesto that railed against immigration and a Hispanic invasion of Texas. They mourned, too, a punctured sense of safety the city has long cherished. And there was talk of resilience, of somehow emerging stronger. But a void stood in their way. On Monday, more than 48 hours after the mass shooting, the El Paso authorities still had not released the names of those who were killed. That stood in sharp contrast to the situation in Dayton, Ohio, where 9 people were killed in a mass shooting about 13 hours after the massacre in El Paso. By midday Sunday, the authorities there had identified all of the dead, a group of men and women that spanned 2 generations. For the latest updates, read our live briefing on the Dayton and El Paso shootings. Mexican officials disclosed on Sunday the identities of its citizens, 7 in all. And relatives of some of the others have confirmed their deaths in interviews with the news media or through social media posts. On Monday, the El Paso Police Department said the death toll in the attack had risen to 22, after 2 of the dozens wounded died in the hospital. Since the massacre, the Walmart has mostly remained sealed off, the parking lot still crammed with the cars belonging to those who had been shopping when the gunman, identified as Patrick Cruzius, 21, stormed the store. The bodies of the victims remained inside the store until Sunday, officials said. The delay in releasing the names came as the authorities sought to confirm victims' identities and inform their families. Medical examiners worked through the weekend, finishing on school websites. 8chan is a megaphone for gunmen. Shut the site down, says its creator. Bad actors have thrived on the dark web because the technology allows website owners and visitors to obscure their location and internet address, making it harder for law enforcement to find them. The dark web version of 8chan, which was surfaced by the intelligence firm Terbium Labs, has the site's familiar battle cry across the top, "Embrace infamy." The top headlines on Monday afternoon were all about the weekend shootings in El Paso and Dayton, Ohio. But even on the dark web, companies need service providers to keep their sites up reliably. And the 8chan site was only intermittently available and slow to load, making it nearly impossible to click on the site's links. Ronald Watkins, an administrator for 8chan, said on Twitter on Monday afternoon that he would wait to see if BitMitigate would be able to restore its services. If not, 8chan would try to get online again anyway, he wrote. Mr. Watkins is the son of Jim Watkins, the owner of 8chan. As of 6 p.m., the message board remained offline. Rob Monster, the chief executive of Epic, said in an email that he had not solicited 8chan's business and had not decided whether to keep the site as a customer. Our services fill the ever-growing need for a neutral service provider that will not arbitrarily terminate accounts based on social or political pressure, he said. Our philosophy is, if the customer is not breaking the law, providers of technology should apply discernment in determining whether or not to service. At Voxility, Maria Serbu, the vice president of business development, said it would not work with Epic or BitMitigate again even if those companies ended their relationships with 8chan. We're totally against hate speech, she said. We are free to terminate the service as we like. The internet infrastructure companies have distanced themselves from toxic websites before. In 2017, the Daily Stormer, a neo-Nazi forum, was booted off Cloudflare after the site mocked Heather Heyer, a woman who was killed during a white nationalist rally in Charlottesville, Virginia. The Daily Stormer initially struggled to find companies that would provide the infrastructure it needed to remain online. BitMitigate, which says its services come with a proven commitment to liberty, and Epic eventually stepped in to protect it. The Daily Stormer now uses dark web services and overseas hosting providers to stay afloat. But it went offline on Monday after Voxility terminated its business with Epic. 8chan is in an even more delicate position than the Daily Stormer because it appears to help mass killers by providing them with a place to air and spread their violent and often racist messages. Other recent shootings, including at mosques in Christchurch, New Zealand, and at a synagogue in Poway, California, were all announced on 8chan before they began. Over the weekend, even one of 8chan's own founders, Frederick Brennan, disavowed the online message board, saying, "Shut the site down." Nick Lim, the founder of BitMitigate, who left the company in May, said he expected 8chan to emerge elsewhere on the internet. The message board could tap other infrastructure and hosting providers for services, experts have said. "I don't think